Person. My name is Shab Gautam, and I'm very excited to talk to you today because what I'm about to share is completely changing my life and believe it can change you too. Today, I want to talk about something called the shadowing technique, which is the most of the powerful and effective ways to improve English, especially your listening, speaking, pronunciation, fluency, and even confidence. And it works for beginners, intermediates, and advanced learners like so. Whether you are just starting or I have been studying English for years, this technique can make a real difference in your life. Commit to it consistently. And before we dive into the steps, I want to explain what shadowing really is because many people misunderstand simple repetition or copying. But in reality, shadowing is about emerging yourself in the sounds, rhythm, intonation, and emotion of a native speakers while simultaneously repeating what you hear in real time, almost like a shadow following and every movement to speaker's voice. And this method trains your brain to process the think English naturally, improve your listening comprehension dramatically, help your mouth and used to produce English sounds quickly and accurately, which is something traditional learning method often fail to do. And the first step to anyone starting with shadowing is to choose the right material because the wrong material can lead to frustration or boredom. And I recommend that beginners start with a short audio clips or sentence, preferably between 30 seconds. 1 minute from source like a podcast, YouTube, video, language learning apps. And it is important to choose content well tuned above your current level and easy to that you are don't learn mistake episode hard that you are cannot understand even a single sentence. And once you have selected your material, the next step is to active listening, which means you really listen carefully several times without speaking, focusing on every word, noticing pronunciation, rhythm, intonation, pause, and the emotion behind the words. During the stage, you may want to write down difficult word to phrase, practice pronunciation them, slowly repeat them until you feel natural. And after the preparation, you begin shadowing by playing the audio and speaking immediately after simultaneously with the speaking trying to mimic not just the words but the speed, intonation, stress and emotion. And don't worry if you make mistakes. If you are beginning, this is completely normal and part of daily process. And the key here, repetition. So repeat the same clip multiple times until your pronunciation, rhythm and fluency improves. For beginners, it is also helpful to break longer clips to small sentence, practice each sentence separately and then gradually combines them, which builds confidence and prevents overwhelm. You progress, you can increase the length and completely of your audio material. Moving to your dialects, interviews, speeches or debates, this challenge you to process English more quickly and naturally at the intermediate level. I strongly encourage recording yourself while studying and then comparing it with the audio, listening carefully for difference in preparation, tone, rhythm, and expressions because self-evaluation is a critical step that accelerates improvements. When you notice mistakes or the difference repeated, the shadowing process focusing specifically on those parts until they become natural. And also combine shadowing with training along with the transcript, reinforce comprehension, which help you internalize sentences, structure, vocabulary, idiomatic expression, and advanced learner can take shadowing even further by practicing with challenging materials such as talk type, business representation, news reports, and academic lecture, which not only improve fluency and pronunciation but also expand vocabulary, comprehension of complex ideas, culture, understanding. And that this level you can practice shadowing in real time without pausing, focusing. Our emotion process and the even gesture, if you are watching videos, creates a more immersive experience. And not important for everyone, it's consistency. Shadowing should be practiced daily, if only even 14 to 30 minutes, because daily exposure is what makes brain or mouth adopt naturally to English. And a small consistent compound into extraordinary progress time. You should also integrate reflection exercise such as a nodding. Nothing new words, phrases or sentence structures you shadow today, writing example sentences and trying use them in your own speech, which reinforce learning. And a powerful habit is to combine shadowing with speaking in a real situation, example practicing with a French teacher or even speaking to yourself in front of the mirror, which help transform your skills from practical actual communication. And for motivation, it's crucial to take your progress, maybe keeping a journal or shadowing practice. Nothing was your practice, how many times you improve, you'll notice over time because seeing progress builds confidence and keeps your consistency. And don't forget the importance of listening comprehension outside of shadowing by consuming English media such as podcast, YouTube videos, movies or news, and expose yourself to different as and vocabulary in context, which makes shadowing more effective when you combine the real world's input and adaptive to focus on emotion and expression while shadowing, because English is not just about the words and how to deliver them, and the shadowing with emotions train and speaking to sound natural, confidence and engaging, which is especially important for public speaking or professional communication. And you can also practice shadowing in a different scenarios and such as a casual conversation, business meeting or storytelling, and which prepare your multiple contexts and as your skills improve, which one notice you are the listening comprehension improve dramatically because your brain starts to anticipate common patterns, your pronunciation becomes sharper, your fluency increases, and fear of speaking English decreases because your mouth mind how time to process English and automatically. And also I recommend combining shadowing with other learning matters such as reading, writing and vocabulary exercise. And will state in all aspects of language learning and ensures of the balanced approach. And remember that mistakes are normal, persistence is key, and every time to shadow a clip, you train your brain and body to work together to produce fluently and natural English. And you can make sure shadowing more enjoyable by choosing topics you love such as motivational speeches, storytelling and technology culture. You keeps you engaged and makes take learning feel like a fun activity rather than a chore. And even if you are only 10 minutes, the starting consistently is better than waiting for the perfect moment because progress comes from daily action. And for ultimately mastery, advanced learner can practice dual shadowing, where you shadow how speakers and dialogues are shadowing between them, which improves adaptability, comprehension, and quick thinking in English. And to summarize the key principle of the shadowing technique, our daily practice choosing the right material, active listening and repetition, recording and self-evaluation, focusing on emotional and expression, reflecting the new words and the structures, integrating speaking the real situation, and gradually increase difficulty. And by following these steps, beginners will develop confidence and fluency, intermediate will refine pronunciation and comprehend, and advanced learner will achieve natural expression and fast communication. If you want to make a shadowing a habit, not only practice a skill and or dramatically, but your confidence, ability to think in English, and even your mindset about learning will transform because you will see that progress comes from small, consistent acts rather than magic shortcuts. All and I promise if you follow this method seriously, in a few months you will hear a real difference in your speaking and listening skills.